Hey everybody, Spartan here from SpartanTrading.com. I want to hit you guys with some trading basics today, and in this video I just want to talk about Sympathy. Now, when you hear the word sympathy in trading, which I'm sure you've heard before, it's usually two companies that are trading in sympathy with each other, or companies within an industry that are trading in sympathy with each other. So what sympathy is companies that are related to each other. Either they're trading in the same industry or they have a similar product to one another, and when news comes out, or when one is running, the other ones can run with it, or they could be inversely affected. So there's two types of sympathy. Sympathy where trades trade in parallel to each other in the same direction, or sympathy that is inversely related where one company will trade to the upside and the other company will trade to the downside. Now, let's go through an example of both. There could be two cloud-based companies, Twilio and Coop. So these companies are similar in that they are in the same industry. They are, competitors within that industry, but they both are cloud-based companies that provide a cloud-based service. Now, let's say that Twilio raised its guidance for the year. They had great earnings and they traded up significantly because of that. We should watch Coop because it's such a similar company to Twilio in that they're in the same industry. They're dealing with the same sort of clients, etc., that we could expect that Coop should probably do something similar in regards to their revenue and earnings going forward. So if we can see that one company in a sector that doesn't have a lot of differences from its competitors trading up because they're projecting that guidance is going to be a lot better going forward, then we can expect other companies in that sector to push as well. Another example would be, let's say one cannabis company is pushing because revenue again is going to be positively affected in the future. We would expect other cannabis companies to be pushing as well in sympathy with that name. Let's talk about, on the other hand, inverse sympathy. So inverse sympathy would be when one company is negatively affected by news, which could cause a positive effect to another company. A perfect example of this was today. We had some Pfizer news come out that their supply chain for the vaccine is going to be constrained, which is going to delay basically how much of that vaccine they can produce and release going forward. Now, this ended up being not new news, but it did cause a movement in the stocks. So it was a negative for Pfizer at the time. Right away when that came out, I went, okay, there's going to be other names that can pick up the slack possibly, and one of those names could be Moderna, mRNA. So what I did is, instead of playing Pfizer, I looked at Moderna and I took some calls that were out of the money. I took the 180 calls that were out of the money. I tweeted it. I also put it in the room for our guys in the live chat. And the calls went up 250% within, 4 or 5 minutes, pretty quickly. Now, again, I didn't know at the time that this news was repeated. It didn't really matter. The stock was moving. I'm playing the price action. And it's just based off of that real simple idea of sympathy that I came up with that idea in general. Now, one question you may have is, okay, how do I figure out what companies are in sympathy with each other, what companies trade in sympathy with each other? One way, really simple way to do it, and what I do, is when one company is trading in some sort of news, other companies will run, probably because they're related in some sort of way in their product or they're in the same industry. I'll write down those names and I'll build a watch list around that. Another way to do it is, basically just go to a website like FinViz or use a stock screener. Anyone will work. FinViz is my favorite because it's just such a good one. It's free, and it lays it out nicely. You can go to FinViz. You can literally go to industry and select an industry. Let's go airlines, and you have a list of all the airlines. Throw it into a watch list. When something positive comes out on one airline company, it may positively affect other ones. You have your watch list. You can quickly check it, and you can decide to trade other things in sympathy with another name. So, real simple, basic, term to go over, sympathy plays. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out, SpartanTrading.com. Thanks for watching.